So that skeleton is not the Leviathans that you are talking about. You may think it is, and at first I thought it was, but I went over the anatomy of that creature, and it appears to be something that we're already familiar with, and I'll get to it in a moment. But the issue is that we don't see Leviathans in the story. We do not see the creatures from the sea at all. So when we see skeletons on a beach in Ravine, it's kind of like, is this normal megafauna from Thetis, or are these the Evanur's created monsters? We know that dragons exist already. They didn't exist because the Evanurus made them. They're megafauna that just existed in Thetis. So, when we look at the remains of the skeleton on the beach, we see that it has vertebrae. This is a creature with a very long spine, blunted vertebrae. So this is not a fish. It is a reptile of some sort, from what we can tell from the skull and the spine. So when we get to the skull, that's where we kind of start getting answers as to what this could be. At first, it stumped me because it's a diapsid of some sort. It has two fenestra behind the orbital bone, because typically dragons have the eyes right at the holes on the very front. But it's also an incomplete skull. But then I remembered we have a complete dragon skull, and it looks pretty much the same. At the lighthouse, when you look at the Dragon Skull Monument, you see that there are a lot of anatomical similarities. You have the same nasal cavities visible in the bones. The orbital bones are in the orbital sockets are in the same positions, and you have the same fenestra, the holes in the skull, in both. The Dragon Skull Monument is just a much more complete version of this skull. So, is it a dragon? Well, we don't have wings, we don't have legs, it's only a spine and a skull. It's an incomplete skeleton. I think that's just a dragon. We know that dragons typically do hang around the seas because there is a type of lightning dragon that hunts fish. It scoops the fish up. So that wide jaw, the sharp teeth does lend to the theory that this is just a dragon. When you're at the beach, it's just a dragon skeleton. It's nothing more. The only other thing that could have possibly been a Leviathan is the creature that you see in the ossuary in Gillinane's facility under the sea, but even that doesn't look like a blighted creature. That looks like a normal megafauna. It's peaceful, it's not crashing around, it's not really guarding, it's just there. I think that's just a big fish.